these issues, there's an opportunity for change. I do believe that. And in this realm, I would say some of the things that I've seen that are disappointing, and if they are true, then maybe there's an opportunity for change. Personally, I would not be going out to drinks with my bosses. We don't know if that happened. That is one of the allegations that was made. But on principle, I'm not going out to drinks with my executives. I'm not going out to parties with them for a number of reasons. One, I do not want to be talked about in my newsroom like that. Why was she out to drinks with them? What is she doing? I don't want them knowing my personal life. I don't want my bosses knowing my personal life. Number two. And then number three, now you're opening yourself up to rumors to spread about you that look like this. So this is why you have to strike a right balance when you're going to take a professional person into a public environment outside the professional work setting, because now you're opening yourself up to these types of allegations. So one, watch how you're moving. Watch how you carry yourself in the workplace, because this is what you're going to open yourself up to potentially, especially if you're the one in the highest spot.
Hey friends, this is Tig in with another reaction video, and today we're going to be doing a reaction on Stephen A. Smith and Tori Cooper on Joy Taylor allegations. Now, I know this thing been beat to death, but I wanted to go ahead and take a stab at this because I find it interesting. Normally I just do entertainment, but everything is starting to become either political or entertainment, and to me this is entertainment. Okay, now this is nothing new. A lot of beautiful women do use their looks to get ahead. They sleep around with the boss or anybody that can get them what they want. Back in the day, the women get what they want and they move on. The men get what they want and they move on, and you know, that's how the cycle pretty much goes. But because of Me Too and everything else, now everything is becoming political. So two consenting adults can't make arrangements anymore to get both needs satisfied. Okay, so that's how it's pretty much going these days. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's wrong for somebody with power to force another person to do something they don't want to do. But if these allegations are true, that means there were two consenting adults. Okay, and you know, now, I don't have too much of a problem with it, but it does sometimes hurt other people. Like, let's just say you've been fighting for a promotion, but the boss give it to a beautiful woman ahead of you, and she has no talents whatsoever. And you try to work hard for it and don't get it. Now, it can hurt somebody like that. It can be wrong. Not understanding companies having policies, okay? But in a lot of the cases, man, not too many people really care that much, as long as they're not being hurt by it, okay? But I feel like if somebody get hurt, definitely the company should do something about it. Now, is it unfair in some cases? Yeah, it's unfair. You know, not everybody is beautiful, not everybody is sexy. You know, they just can't get what they want just purely on their looks. But there's a lot of arguments out there that's basically saying that, you know, she's so talented. We're talking about Joy Taylor here. She's so talented that, you know, everything else shouldn't even matter. And I probably gonna throw Stephen A. Smith and this woman Tori Cooper in the same situation. Now, I have a feeling what they're already gonna say, because I feel it's my opinion that I feel like sometimes Stephen A. Smith flip-flops on things. Okay, one minute he's saying one thing, the next minute he's saying something else, and I believe he does it, in my opinion, again, because he want to protect himself. He don't want to look bad, so he gonna go along with the crowd, basically. Now, I don't know what this Tori Cooper woman gonna say. She looks Hispanic, she might be black, I don't know, but somehow I feel like she's gonna defend Joy Taylor. Usually that's the case. Okay, they don't matter. It doesn't matter what these women do. Just like Kamala Harris, they're going to defend them. So it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into this reaction. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos. Okay, all right, let's get started.
There's a lot that I have to get into today, and I'm definitely going to get into it, but we all know where we got to get started on this particular day, and that's getting started with the lawsuit, the recent lawsuit filed against Fox Sports, and several current and former personnel there, including my former colleague, the one and only Skip Bayless.
Now, you know that Stephen A. Smith going to be somewhat biased in these situations. I understand, because a lot of these people are his friends, and he don't want to throw them under the bus, but at the same time, he want to seem like that he has no dog in the fight. He wants to be impartial, report the news as is, but still, these are his friends. Some of them are, or colleagues at the least. And I just have the feeling he's just gonna do whatever he can to defend them.
42-page document filed by a woman named Nusheen Faraji, a former hairstylist for the company, cites several instances of workplace misconduct. The suit names several defendants, including Fox Sports Executive Vice President Charlie Dixon and host Joy Taylor. Faraji alleges Dixon grabbed her.
Now, this is mostly about Joy Taylor, okay? Now, as far as these white guys concerned, they don't care. They rarely talk about the black dude, Emmanuel Acho, I think that's his name. They don't pretty much talk about him at all. But it's generally about these white guys, so that means it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So what? I mean, this happens all the time. This is what white men do when they have power. They just take advantage of women, no matter white, black. It used to be just white women, but now black women are slowly moving it into this scenario. So that's all they do. So no big deal. Nobody is surprised that these white men did what they did. So that's the reason why Joy Taylor is on the chopping block right now, because she goes out telling people that, you know, she got these positions because she's highly intelligent, she worked hard and all that kind of stuff. Now, because of these allegations, all the stuff is kind of flying in her face and people are attacking her. Now, I don't condone people attacking other people, okay? I don't at all. And I think you should just report things as is. Now, people have the right to have their opinions. I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, it's like, in a way, it's very difficult to defend her at the same time, to try to kind of dog her out. You know, she, you know, thought all this stuff was kind of under wraps. If these allegations are true, that is. She thought all this stuff was under wraps, so she can just go on all these talk shows and podcasts and just promote herself and make it seem like that, you know, she earned these positions. But it's really making these allegations really making her look bad right now. And I believe Stephen A. Smith and Tori Cooper, I believe they're gonna do everything they can to try to defend this woman for what she did, even though if these allegations are true, they're wrong. You know what I mean? I mean, because some other people got hurt because of this. I've been watching these other podcasts. I forgot his name, Whitlock or whatever his name is, right? We're talking to this other dude stating that he didn't get a position because he believed because of these allegations that they kind of like threw him under a bus just to put this woman in, okay? So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. But either case, I mean, she's not going to jail. They're not going to fine her. They probably won't even fire her. But she hates the fact of public opinions is showing that beautiful women in the sports arena are basically using their looks to get to the top, and then making other women, especially other women of color, look bad. And that's what this argument is all about, I believe. Okay, so let's continue.
Behind at a birthday party, and when she relayed the encounter with Joy Taylor, the Fox host allegedly told her to, quote, "get over it."
Okay, I needed to jump ahead because I didn't want to hear all this other stuff. I just wanted to give y'all a little introduction in what's going on. And now we jumping straight into Tori Cooper. Now look at this woman, man. She's gorgeous. She is gorgeous. And she knows she's gorgeous. I know she does. She is gorgeous. Okay. Now, see, a woman like this, that's involved in sports or whatever, right, can back in the day can basically say that she earned her position, which she probably could have done. I don't know. But because of what Joy Taylor is involved in right now, it makes women like her look bad. Like, the only reason why she got this position because she's beautiful. And come on, I mean, when you really think about it, it's probably the case. And I'm not saying it's her fault because of it. I'm just saying that this is what these companies do, right? You know, these entertainment companies or whatever, when it comes to sports or, you know, CNN or Fox, they usually like to get beautiful women to be covered. A lot of times I've seen videos on YouTube talking about these reporters' legs, you know, because they wear these little tight dresses. You look at these people that talk about the weather, the women, they always have these videos of these very beautiful, voluptuous women given the weather. It's like eye candy. And I can't complain about it. I have no problem with eye candy. Now, whether they earn it or not, I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know who's getting screwed over or whatever the situation is, but companies definitely do hire women based on their looks. And if they have some type of talent when they can pull it off, that's, you know, even better for them. But these women, this is the problem. These women like to go out there making it seem like they did all this work, and that's why they was better than the rest. that they did all this work and worked hard to get what they wanted. You know, they didn't depend on no man or nothing to get this stuff, man. They earned it, right? And that's what's up in the air right now, because what's going on with Joy Taylor makes a woman like this look bad. But let's go ahead and continue.
I had to bring you back because I wanted to get your thoughts on what I just brought up about Joy Taylor. And as you've watched all of this unfold, I know you, like myself, we've read the 42-page, allegations, rife with allegations against Joy Taylor, against Charlie Dixon, against Skip Bayless. Specifically pertaining to Joy Taylor, I want to know what your thoughts are about all the heat that she's been taking over the last few days.
All right. Okay, so before she start talking, like I said, I have a feeling she's gonna defend her. Matter of fact, they look like sisters. You know, they probably even know each other. So she's in kind of a rut right now. Can she really say anything evil about this woman, about what she's done? Even if she wants to, I don't think so, because she wants to continue. She don't know what they're gonna do to her. She don't know if they're gonna fire her or not. Just to say she gets on Stephen A. Smith and start talking smack about this woman, and they end up not firing this woman, which I still have a feeling they won't do. I don't care if this woman is guilty. I have a feeling, because I don't know if she's Hispanic or black or both or whatever, right? But because of her status, they're not going to fire her, okay? Matter of fact, she might even get a promotion, which is crazy, right? Because any other person would have got fired for this kind of stuff, right? But most likely they're going to try to shift the blame on to Charlie, what's his name? And Skip Bayless. They're going to try to shift it over to him. And Skip Bayless is probably going to retire in a year, I believe. So just letting him go is not going to be a big deal. So they're going to try to do it in a way where it's not really going to hurt his reputation too much, I have a feeling, because they know the guy. He been doing this for like forever, and they probably like him. And most people say they like Charlie and they like Skip. So they're going to do everything they can, but they got to satisfy the mob, basically. They got to satisfy the mob. So they got to do something. But then I have a feeling they're not going to punish this woman, though. I have a feeling. And I believe she understands that, too, as well. So she's really not going to, I have a feeling she's not going to really say what she needs to say about this woman. But this is just my opinion, okay? I haven't heard it yet, but let's go ahead and get into it.
Why is such a focus on Joy Taylor? First of all, she's not.
You know why that's a focus on her, right? Because they don't, it's not a story. When it comes down to Charlie and Skip, it's not a story. You know, white man bad, white man do this, white man should be fired. I mean, no big deal. And they're talking about them too, but it's not the real story behind it. The real story is about women, and in this particular case, a woman of color. Okay, that's why it's a big story. And she went out talking, because I saw the podcast when she went out basically talking about how she earned these positions, okay? And she didn't have to say all that. All she had to do was get the position and be thankful. She had to go on the podcast and say, I really appreciate them giving me the position. I am very thankful for it. And left it at that. She could have said that, but no, she had to brag about it. She had to brag, okay? She had to brag. And because of that, you know, now it's like flying in her face, because her hairstylist is basically pretty much breaking the internet with all these allegations, basically, okay? So that's the reason why she's looking bad. That's the reason why it's a story, okay? That's the reason. That's why we're talking about her, but you know this. But let's continue.
Being accused of sexual battery. She's not being accused of sexual harassment. She's being accused of engaging in sexual behavior to earn her spot that she has on Fox Sports.
Which is an issue. I worked in corporate offices and all this kind of stuff, right? They want everybody for that kind of thing, right? If something goes bad, if you decide to start some type of relationship with your coworker and it goes bad, there's a good chance both of you are going to get fired. Not unless you can prove that the other person took advantage of you somehow. That's the only way you can save your job. But generally speaking, the company like to go on the safe side and just go ahead and get rid of both of you for those behaviors. And they make you sign contracts regarding this. And I'm sure there are contracts when it comes down to ESPN or whatever these sports things are called, basically. Fox Sports. So basically, I'm sure they sign contracts in case of these particular situations. I mean, they have to, right? After all these Me Too allegations, you know they got to have something in the contracts where they can protect themselves against this kind of thing. But even though they make these contracts stating that both parties will be treated fairly, I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. That's my opinion, though. But I have a feeling it's not because they tend to want to protect women, especially women of color, because they're treated unfairly in our society. So they can go out of their way to protect this woman. I know they are, because this is just a start, in my opinion. Just already from what this woman is saying, this is just a start. To me, this is just PR. Okay, it's almost like they've been hired to do this, or either that forced. But that's my opinion. I have no facts to back that up. I just want to make that clear.
Now, the problem I have with this, Stephen, is this continues to be the issue in this industry. Is when a man gets there, in any industry really, when a man gets there, he earned it. When a woman gets there, she slept her way to the top somehow.
Okay, think about it for a second. A man can't sleep his way to the top. I don't care how good looking he is. He's not going to get there just easy, okay? Now, have I seen something like that? Yes. I remember having a job. I worked in a hotel as a maintenance. I brought this up before. And this guy, he thought that our boss was ugly. He thought she was unattractive. He made jokes about her and everything else. Come to find out, he ended up sleeping with her. And then he was getting all these perks. We didn't know this at first, but he was getting all these perks. He was coming in when he wanted to. He was getting things that, the rest of us wasn't getting. Come to find out, I think he bragged to somebody that he was sleeping with her. But he told all of us that he hated her, that she was ugly. And then he ended up, from what I hear, he ended up marrying this chick, okay? She lost her job because of this reason. He lost the same job because of the reason I just disclosed. But either case, it's possible of that happening. But it don't happen on a regular basis like women, okay? Because, especially in something like this, when it comes down to sports, a lot of these women don't really watch this stuff. It ain't like they grew up with a daddy teaching them about football, most of the cases. And a lot of these women are beautiful. And a lot of the times, these companies hire these women because they're beautiful, okay? And all of a sudden, now they shoot them to the top. And you wonder how the world she get this position. And usually people, I'm gonna be honest, people don't really think about it. They just there. I don't know what this woman does. I'm assuming she's part of this too as well. She's one of Stephen A. Smith's colleagues or whatever. I don't know what she does. I don't know how she got her position. I have no clue and didn't care at first, okay? But, like I said, when you go out there talking about trying to promote that you earned it and come to find out that you probably didn't, that's a problem. That's a problem that should be addressed, okay? And yes, these guys are going to get attacked as usual, and it doesn't matter. Most likely, in my opinion, I think they're going to lose their job in a graceful way, but they're going to retain this woman. But she's trying to make some kind of argument that, how come you just talking about her? Why aren't you talking about these guys? I mean, they always talk about the guys, all right? And usually the guys get penalized, okay? And I'm assuming she's going to try to make some kind of defense for her for doing what she did because somehow these guys made her do it or something like that. I don't know it yet. So I just want to hear what she got to say.
And so that's issue number one. Issue number two is that we're just going to completely negate her experience and the fact that she is more than qualified to be in this role. And if you just read this lawsuit at face value, and this is my problem with these lawsuits, is people just take it as fact. These are allegations at the end of the day. And when you look at...
See, they don't have a problem when it's Donald Trump. If Donald Trump accuses something, they already calling him a artist, narcissist, criminal, all that kind of stuff, just from his allegations. Because during the time he was going to court and all this kind of stuff, right, they were basically saying he was guilty. They don't got no problem doing it with certain people, especially conservatives. But when it comes down to people they like and people they know, it's all of a sudden, well, it's just allegations. It's not proof. We should wait a minute just to see what happens. See, they want that when it comes down to them and the people that they care about. But when it comes down to everybody else, you're guilty as soon as you're accused. As far as I bet you $1 million, and this is just my opinion, she probably already think the other two guys are guilty. Even though these are allegations, she probably still think they're guilty. I wonder if she's even going to say that.
At this lawsuit and you comb through it at face value, they paint her as a bartender who had little experience, who was had experience in radio and was not qualified for Fox Sports, and she was working as a fill-in anchor and a bartender at the same time. I worked 2 jobs to get into this industry. I worked behind the scenes first. So We don't earn these spots lightly. And that's where I get really frustrated with people on social media who are trying to come for this woman's experience and credibility to be considered for this role. So let's just go back into the history really quick into her.
All right, I paused that for a moment because she's making it sound like, this woman, the reason why she got these positions is because of her education and hard work and all that kind of stuff, even though she was like a bartender. And there's rumors that she was doing other things too, but I don't want to mention this. This is another YouTuber that did say something about it, but I don't want to say it on my channel. But she basically, because my ex-boss used to be a Hooters girl, okay? And somehow she was able to become a manager at my building, okay? I mean, and yeah, she was gorgeous. She was beautiful, beautiful woman. And all of a sudden she come from these type jobs as bartenders and waitresses, and all of a sudden now they managers at these buildings for some reason, right? And they always tearing up these buildings too, right? Because she ran it like it was like her home or something, okay? Doing crazy stuff. But I don't want to get too much into that. But I'm just saying, right? They're always coming from, these beautiful women, always coming from these backgrounds, okay? Where they seduce men and giving them money. Because if she worked as a bartender or waitress, they flirt with men for tips, basically. That's basically their job. So it's not surprising that they would finesse them their way up to the top. It's not surprising. But she making it seem like this woman is just highly educated. It wasn't about her look. She didn't use her looks to get to the top. So I decided to go ahead and go to her Instagram, okay? Now, I've seen clips of videos of her doing reporting. And she always would wear these outfits to kind of show off her chest a lot, right? Now, look, I'm not going to complain about it. I have no issues with it whatsoever, right? But it is what it is, okay? And I just wanted to go ahead and go to this Instagram to show you exactly all the thirst traps she's been putting out. Okay? Very sexy, man. Very sexy. I have no issues with that. Very beautiful woman, right? Now, if I didn't know she was into Fox Sports, I would have thought she was an Instagram model. I mean, that's what she was portraying herself as, okay? She using her looks to get to the top. I have no issues with that, man, right? Little cutie stuff, to make it seem like she's really cute. But I've learned that a lot of these women do this stuff, not just, to get Instagram followers, but also to seduce a lot of men. They want men to like fall into their DMs so they can like get ahead in life. Now, if she would have probably got a better offer from somebody else that had nothing to do with Fox News or whatever, she probably would have took it. And in a way, and this is what I like about Fresh and Fit, they say that basically Instagram is ways where women can advertise themselves, for potential buyers or interested rich men. And that's why they go on these things and put up all these thirst traps. And he said you should watch out for women like this because they can be very dangerous, because basically they pretty much out for your money. And in the filings, the hairdresser basically said that she said that if things go awry and if this guy Charlie tried to fire her, she was going to take him to court saying he took advantage of her or whatever, right? Forced her into it, something like that, right? So this is what the allegations are. So, you got to watch out for these type women, man. It's like, yeah, I get it. They're attractive. It's hard to resist. The other dude, what the other guy say, man? What's that dude name? I forgot his name. He basically said, 2 cans and peanut butter skin.
So what did I say? I said, big rack, a pair of cans, and peanut butter skin.
All right, you heard it from the man. Big rack and peanut butter skin. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, some people are gonna get offended by that, but I grew up in a time like him where men would talk like that, not only in private but out in the open, because most of the jobs we had were around men, so we had no problem with saying things like that. Okay, it's like locker room talk. It's the same thing Trump was going through when he was talking about grabbing by the peak out of stuff, right? It was between two men. That's how men talk in a lot of cases. Now, should men talk like that? Probably not. But I'm just saying, man, that's just pretty much the world. Okay, so basically, that's basically what I'm talking about. A lot of the cases. A lot of men will hire these women based on the fact that they're sexy and they want beautiful women around. But they don't understand, they don't realize that it makes things complicated. It makes a lot of things complicated. It does. It makes, ever since I started having to work with women, it became a problem because I did construction type stuff when I just worked with men, and it comes with its own problems, but not these kind of problems. Okay, at the worst, you could get fired for like fighting another dude or something like that, right? Okay, that might be a problem you have with another coworker, and that rarely happens. Maybe arguments and disagreements, but that's as far as it went. So men didn't get fired like real fast. We talking about not only just regular workers. We talking about managers or whatever. Okay, they rarely got fired unless they really screwed up something. But now that women are introduced in these spaces, men are getting fired like left and right. So I don't understand why she's complaining about Joy Taylor when most likely it's going to be the 2 and maybe 3 guys that are going to get canned. You know what I'm saying? All right, she's so ready to defend. All of a sudden, we're supposed to wait until these allegations are proved. Will she wait for also the men allegations to be shown before she start making judgment? Because I'm sure a lot of these women are already trashing these men already. Okay, and I believe the reason why they're not trashing them as hard because Joy Taylor is involved. In order for them to be guilty, that means she has to be guilty too. So right now they're really watching their language.
Her experience, since we want to talk about it, she worked behind the scenes as an executive producer. That's someone who writes the shows for the people you see with the mic. 1. Then she worked her way into a slot to be a co-host on that show, on that radio show in Miami. Then on top of that, she took the show to number 1. And then after that, then she makes her way to California, is essentially doing what it appears to be freelancing, and is filling in and working to get that spot. And eventually she gets called on. Many people right now, Stephen A. would say, I'm not even qualified to sit next to you.
Well, nobody's saying that. At least not until we find out something like you're doing something behind the scenes. Nobody was saying this about this woman. When she was going on all these podcasts talking about how much she earned, all this kind of stuff. I mean, you get a lot of side-eye about it. Like, okay, you're a beautiful woman, very voluptuous woman. I'm sure, it was more than you just being intelligent, okay? And I'm not saying that we was thinking she slept around. We probably thinking a lot of you guys, she got promoted for several different reasons, okay? But she making it, she running down this woman's resume, talking about she did all this kind of stuff. Now the question is, how did she get into these positions in the first place? Okay, was it because she earned it? Can you pull out receipts on that? Can you show us that's how she earned it? I might have believed you before these allegations. Now it's all of this is questionable now. I'm not accusing this woman of definitely doing it. I'm not saying that. It's still allegations. Okay, but it did raise the question: did this woman really earn her spots? Did she earn this executive producer type thing, or was it given to her? These allegations, and it's not about a bunch of guys making these allegations. This is another woman. And why aren't y'all defending this woman? Okay, I thought it was about all women. Why not defend this woman? Why are you calling this woman a liar? Now that will also make them look bad too. So they rather just go ahead and just defend Joy Taylor instead. Okay, and yeah, it does reflect on her too as well. She knows this. Now, I believe he's going to be very careful with his replies, okay? Because like I said, man, a lot of these people are co-workers, friends, or what have you, okay? So he's not going to trash them because he worked around these people. And I believe Stephen A. Smith have a lot of knowledge when it comes down to what goes on around him. Like with Diddy, for example. Do I believe that Stephen A. Smith knew everything Diddy was doing? No. But I'm sure he heard rumors. Okay, I have a feeling he heard rumors, and he worked in this place, so he probably heard a lot of things. Okay, because the other guys heard a lot of things. They're coming out with it. They say they heard about this and that and the third. Okay, so you telling me somebody connected like Stephen A. Smith, he haven't heard anything like that? Come on, man, come on.
But it's not always about experience. If it was about experience in this industry, then so many people wouldn't even have the spots they have. It's about a lot of other intangibles. But for this specific issue, this woman was more than qualified. She's been a credible Fox Sports commentator.
With no proof to back none of this stuff up. It's just her word.
And she's doing her job. So that's the big issue. Another issue on social media that I'm seeing that's very upsetting is that people are saying, this is why women shouldn't be in sports. This is why we don't want women involved in it.
No, I mean, we don't have a problem with women reporting sports or the news or anything like that. We don't have an issue with that. We don't have a problem with them looking attractive. We have no issues about that. The problem we have is when they come in and disrupt things, all of a sudden now they all of a sudden get men fighting each other. They bring a bunch of drama. All of a sudden now these sleeping allegations and this allegations against Skip, Charlie, and Taylor. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is what they complain about, right? Men never had an issue with each other. They work with each other. The news is reported. Sports is reported. You know, whether they like each other or not, they still stay professional. Nobody losing their job. But as soon as you start introducing women into the mix, all of a sudden, all this drama happens. That's the problem. It's not a problem with this woman doing her job. It's not a problem with this woman looking attractive. The problem is this kind of stuff happens, okay? This kind of stuff. And I'm not completely will blame her for it. It's also the men too. You putting attractive people in rooms together, okay, to work with each other. And you know, in a lot of these cases, a lot of co-workers sleep with each other. They do. It happens. All right. But there are laws now because of Me Too and everything else. They can't do it anymore, and it should be in their contracts. But when you keep introducing these women, there's always going to be some type of issue. That's the problem. It's not because these women are beautiful or educated or doing their job. That's not the problem. It's the problem with everybody hormone is on high gear. It's on high gear. You can't have attractive people around each other and expect nothing to happen. And if you do decide to have attractive people around each other, you better put in these contracts something that's concrete and stop doing favors or protecting people, man. When they do wrong, you need to penalize them somehow.
This because we're going to be faced with these allegations and this is give us our world back. This is not your world. You're not going to claim the sports environment. And this is the problem that I have. Because at the end of the day, this is a form of entertainment that anyone can share, not anyone, but people can share their take on it. And people can be engaged in this topic. And lastly, this is the main issue I have with this.
You saw what she did. She was saying anyone can share their take, but she changed that because she don't feel like conservative or other people that's putting their opinions down about Joy Taylor. She don't feel like they should have an opinion. That's my opinion. That's what I'm getting from this, okay? I don't have any facts to back that up, but that's what I'm getting from this, okay? Not everybody should have an opinion about this. Just certain people, like them, for example.
This is another woman who's of minority descent.
Yep,
Who's
here we go.
Also claiming that another woman who's a minority did this. So I know that the female sports anchors of the world right now are all cringing because they're like, wow, you just continue to feed right into this.
Because see, they don't know how to approach this. Because if, like I said, if it was a man, if she came out talking about Charlie and Skip did all this kind of stuff and that was it, if Joy Taylor said this, they'd be all on it. They'd be all on it. Get rid of these men, fire them. They need to be penalized. They need to do something about this culture. They be saying all kinds of stuff right now about this stuff. But now they got to start to deal with the fact that women are coming out there accusing other women. Now that becomes a problem. You would think they would know this would be a problem in the future because I've seen women go at it at the job, okay, trying to get each other fired. They jealous over some other dude they like or somebody not doing their job or whatever, right? But women go at each other at workplaces, okay? You would think they would know this. You would think they would, but they don't. They never think about the future. They never think about this stuff becoming a problem. But now they don't know how to approach this now because it's a woman doing it. Can you really attack this woman? Can you really? That's becoming very difficult for them, and they're trying to spin it the best way they can.
The same narrative that we don't deserve to be up here at the desk with these men who live, breathe, and sleep this topic. So now it's always about us sleeping with people to get to the spot we're in. And then now another woman's going to feed right into that with these allegations. So it does.
Well, you can't blame her. You can't accuse her. She saw what happened, believe all women, kind of a thing y'all been running with. And now that a woman is accusing, now this is the thing. She's not conservative women too. Because if it was conservative women, they'd be saying she a liar and all this kind of stuff. They'd be saying that. But they can't accuse her of being a conservative. She was friends with these people. So if anybody got the inside knowledge about what's going on with Joy Taylor, it would be this hairdresser. I think God Brooks is going through this with his makeup artist or something like that, right? And they go through this with their nannies and everybody else that they have to have in their life. I think that's part of the reason why they want all these foreigners to come into the country. That way, they can have these people working for them, and these people try to throw them under the bus. They can just send them back to their country, accuse them of stealing or something like that, and get rid of them. You know what I mean? So these people that have rights as Americans working for them, they don't like that because they telling all their business. So they're having a problem with spending this because it is an American woman who's not a conservative that is difficult to attack somebody like that. Very difficult, okay? Because it throws in the face of them talking about protect and believe all women.
Doesn't help what we're up against as women in this industry to have allegations like this circulating around. But this also, she could file her own lawsuit. She could. There's nothing has been proven. So that's where I'll leave it.
And here's the thing. People need.
Okay, we're about to hear his take on this. Like I say, man, like I don't dislike Stephen A. Smith. Some takes I do agree with him, but I hate when he flip-flop. Like during the whole election, man, 1 minute he just blaming Trump for everything. Kamala Harris is the second coming. Then the next minute, when things start looking bad for Kamala Harris, all of a sudden he becoming critical of the Democratic Party. And then after she lost, all of a sudden he want to tell everybody how badly she ran her campaign. And then when they jumped all over him, he want to go ahead and take that back. I mean, like, you can't nail this man down. And I can't really be angry with Stephen A. Smith because he's trying to protect his job. He's trying to keep people liking him, especially women, okay? He don't want to upset the women out there, especially black women out there, by saying something that they'll come after him for because he'll just flip-flop on it, man. But this is just my opinion, man, from hearing him in the past, okay? Let's see what he had to say about this particular situation.
You need to understand, that's one of the reasons that you might not be hearing anything from her, nor Skip Bayless or anybody else, because they can turn around and sue. And they got their, I mean, think about the allegations that have been thrown out against them. Think about, the need that they may feel to retaliate. And as a result of that, I think that is even further requirement for people to be careful. But let me tell you why I wanted you on here, Tori, because I have to admit, I'm pretty pissed off. Now, there's a few people's names I'm not going to mention because, damn it, they ain't worth it, okay?
Okay, I just saw you a clip of this guy talking about cans and peanut butter skin. I think he's talking about him. Okay, other people like him. I think he did an interview with somebody that's like knows the inside of what's going on with this stuff. And a lot of people on probably YouTube and TikTok and all these people on X. You know what I mean? Everybody got an opinion. Now, yeah, you can grow tired of it, but you'll never get away from that. Everybody always, as long as they got some kind of outlet where they can talk about something, you can't stop it. As much as the government probably want to stop it, they can't. Information is going to flow regardless. Okay, so so many people. Look, I don't hold it against neither one of these people that want to defend their friends. Okay, I don't, because if a friend of mine was accused of that, most likely I'll shut up and not saying it, or I'll say something like what she said. Wait until these allegations are proven before you say anything. Most likely like that, right? But I get the feeling somehow this is spin control. This the feeling I'm getting. But let's see what he has to say.
And I get that. But there's a few men out there that are acting like, this is the perfect excuse to justify why we make the argument that women don't belong in the industry, which is an incredibly egregious thing to say, okay? They'll look at any woman sitting in a host chair or any woman that's a reporter out there or any woman that has to walk into the locker room, and all of a sudden their credibility is being questioned. My thing, what I'm more appalled at by, rather, even that, is the women all over social media that are allowing it to happen. And that's
women can be very catty, and even other women say so. Okay, I got sisters, they say women can be catty. Okay, that's where I got it from. All right, and like I said at the beginning of this video, nobody cares about how a woman looks, as long as she's able to do her job competently without starting any drama in the workplace. Because that's the problem. Because a lot of men these days are forced to work with women, and now they got to walk on eggshells because of that reason. They got to watch what they say, watch what they do. They can't even look too long or something like that, or sit down and have their legs, man spreading. That's what they call it. It's all these rules to protect women who claim they don't want to be around men, who think men are awful, but yet they want to be around these dudes because they don't want to work with other women most of the time, because they put these women in these positions with men all the time. They never just have a group of women just doing stuff, because at some point it'll get catty, and they don't want to deal with these women either. Women, when you question women, more women say they'd rather have a male boss than a female boss, and they'll tell you the reasons why. But like I say, of course he gonna say what he's saying, but let's continue.
That's why I wanted you on the show today, because I said I'm not going to speak about it just from the male perspective. I'm going to have a female in front of me that I can bounce this off of to check me in case I'm wrong about this. Correct me if I'm...
That's very smart, because he said stuff to piss off women and then he backtracked. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of smart, though, that he's going to cover his tail, which I think he's very good at. Okay, look, I don't mind a guy, you know, because he understands the climate of things going on these days. People getting sued, people losing their job. So Stephen A. Smith is smart in that way. He's not going to, you know, put himself in a position where he's going to get sued or get fired or something like that. So I get that. It's like he's in survival mode kind of a thing. So, but at the same time, you still can criticize him.
Not wrong, because I don't spend a lot of time looking all over social media, but I'm looking at an abundance of women, and I'm saying the allegations. I understand what the allegations are. The allegations of Joy Taylor slept with Charlie Dixon and and she did it while she was married. And well, first of all, the marriage part is her business. It's nobody else's. The boss situation obviously is dicey. Make no mistake about it. You got a girl that was supposed to be a best friend that's supposedly diming her out right now. That's incredibly unfortunate. But one could easily argue it's really not about your guilt or innocence. It's about how guilty I make you look, forcing you to capitulate to the demands that I'm making civilly.
But see, you can't solve this problem by just attacking men and firing men. Obviously, that's what you can't. You can't say men are the ones that's doing all of this stuff, so we're going to solve it by just firing them or demoting them or what have you. It's obviously women are involved in these particular situations. That means you, as a company, you got to deal with both sides. You just can't just keep firing the man. It's not going to change anything. If, let's just say these allegations are true and they fired the man, is that going to stop her from doing what she's doing now that she knows she can get away with it? You don't solve the problem just by attacking men. And that's crazy. Okay? And that's the reason why they keep having these issues in Hollywood and entertainment and sports, whatever. They keep having these issues because they refuse to deal not only just the men, but also the women too.
We can get into that a little bit later. But what I find most egregious, Tori, is the abundance of women out there who are laughing, who are pointing the finger at Joy Taylor with a profound level of guilt as if they know. Even when they throw in the word allegedly, they do it with smirks on their face, sort of dismissive, because in this business, we know how to speak with our body language, not just with words. And not only that, they're using it as an excuse to question her credibility. Now, I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened.
No, look, like I said, if it was men being accused of this and just men alone, then, you know, who cares? This is what men do. We need to change the culture. They be doing all kind of stuff to change legislation and all this kind of stuff, man. They don't care if these guys are guilty or not. Like, for example, those boys, they got accused by that stripper, okay, of R. Okay, now she came out recently talking about she lied about the whole thing. But everybody thought they were guilty. Even when they were proven innocent, they still were saying they were guilty. They don't care if they're guilty or not. Same with Trump. They don't care if he's guilty or not. They just like to accuse him of these things. And they'll continue to do so. Okay? But when it comes down to these people, you got to wait. You have to wait. We got to wait until what really happened to see if they can get out of this or not, kind of a thing, okay? It got to be proven now. They made this culture of accusations without proof. They made the culture. This is my opinion now. The liberals made this culture. We don't believe all women, for example, right? We don't need no proof. She said he did it. That's all you need. He is guilty. And they've been running with that. And now that these people online, like these women he's talking about, are basically saying this woman is guilty without any proof, all of a sudden now, like, hold your horses. Hold your horses. We got to wait. We got to see if it's proven or not. It's just allegations. It's just allegations. It's crazy. They made this culture the way it is, and now they're angry that it's working against them. It's crazy stuff, man.
We don't know what level of truth or falsehood exists with the allegations that Nosheen Faraji has thrown in the direction of the executive at Fox Sports, Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, or anybody else. But let me tell you what I do know. I know that I've seen Joy Taylor on TV a lot over the years, and I think she's pretty damn good. I think she's very capable. I think she's worthy of the position that she has on Fox Sports.
Now that's questionable. Okay, now if you're saying she bring a beauty to the thing and she does her job, okay, that's one thing, okay? But it doesn't take away for what she was doing behind the scenes. If these allegations are true. If she was like seducing men, which comes with this stuff, okay? It's not these men just coming up to her. From the allegations, she sounded like she was quite happy with the situation. She didn't complain about it, okay? All right, if these allegations are true, that's a problem. This is a problem somehow Stephen A. Smith don't want to address. You just want to go ahead and talk about her accolades, okay? She's smart, she's intelligent, she worked hard, all this kind of junk. You keep saying, they keep repeating this, okay? But you can't get past the fact that if these allegations are true, she's out there. She's for the streets. And that's how she got her position. And she can't blame anybody but herself if these allegations are true.
I think her podcast with Taylor Rooks is a damn good podcast. I think her credentials in this business have been established. I did an interview just yesterday. I was being interviewed by a guy by the name of Sid Rosenberg, a longtime conservative radio host, and he was telling me how Jason Taylor, the former Miami Dolphin, now Hall of Famer, her brother, he had called to see if Sid could help her get a job in the business, and he ended up hiring her. And obviously, like you pointed out, she produced when she had the opportunity. And that's what...
Okay, a Nepo baby, okay? What he's saying right now is not helping her situation, okay? She didn't earn that spot. Somebody did her a favor, and they kept doing her favors according to these allegations. You know what I'm saying? They really want to defend this stuff, okay? There's people out there fighting for the chance to get these positions. They trying to earn their way there. But instead, all these, in this Hollywood and this Congress and all this other stuff, man, and government, all these people, these Nepo babies, just getting these positions. And then they go out there trying to act like they earned it. It was bad enough your brother got you this position, right? But nobody really made a big deal about it, okay? It is what it is. We understand a lot of the time these companies hire these women because of their looks and somewhat talent. You know what I mean? As long as they look good, they can get away with a lot of stuff. It makes things interesting, I guess, right? And men want to see beautiful women, okay? No problem. Okay, nobody really complained about these days, right? But because of these allegations, maybe these things need to be looked at now, okay? Maybe y'all should start putting responsible people, mature people in these positions. You wouldn't have all these problems. For some reason, they don't see that, like Disney, they don't seem to have a problem with getting sued constantly. Just to prove a point. It makes no sense. It's like these people that's invested. Like, I'm sure the people that have these stocks are thinking, why y'all constantly getting sued all the time? It's like, what is about that y'all can't stop? These people, in my opinion, should be removed. After this case, if it is proven that this stuff did happen, a lot of these people, not just the people involved, but also the people that keep letting this stuff happen, should be removed. Should be fired. You can't fire the owners or whatever, right? You can't fire them jokers, unfortunately. But these people that you can fire, they need to be removed. They need to be, because this is constantly happening, man. And it's not happening in conservative circles. I'm sure Fox got into his stuff, like Megyn Kelly back in the day, Ruth Murdoch, whatever his name, I don't know what his name was. The dude that ran Fox was getting into all kind of junk. They squashed that. Now I haven't heard really too much of things are happening. And I heard this, what's his name? I forgot his name. Him and some woman on one of the shows on Fox. They engaged right now. They're gonna get married. They at least know how to handle the situation, okay? They're not bringing drama. But this stuff, the liberals, man, they just can't do anything right, man. Nothing.
Created other opportunities for her. So I'm looking at it, Tori, and I'm saying, wait a minute here. Am I watching this correctly? Are there an abundance of women out there that are using this as a license to question her credentials based off of have you not watched her over the years on television?
If it's true. Basically, it's basically these women saying anybody can do that job. Can sit there, read off a teleprompter, can look sexy in front of the camera, not really contributing anything. They never played the game in their life. They really don't know the players or what they go through. They have, most of these men that get this job, they at least either played or played before or somehow was involved and understand what men go through. These guys got credibility, but not women, not these women. They get these positions, which is proven in many cases because they are attractive. And they need eye candy for these, for this. And plus it's virtual signaling too, basically. Yeah, we love women. We for all women. We want to promote women. We want to put in the DEI situations and stuff like that. Yeah. But as soon as things change, like when Trump come into office, all of a sudden McDonald's and everybody else is dropping DEI all of a sudden. But these serious liberal companies like ESPN and Hollywood and stuff like that, they still gonna keep holding on to that bone. They gonna do everything they can to keep that bone intact. Okay, they gonna do everything they can to do.
And if you're going to do that, okay, why would you? Why would you want to do that? Even that's where I'm at with it, Tori. That's my problem.
Back in the day, they just shamed men. That was easy. Now it sounds like he's shaming women now. He's trying to shame them, but you ain't gonna shame them though. Women gonna have their opinion. They know because they have to deal with it in the workplace. If a woman is semi-attractive or unattractive and they see a beautiful woman all of a sudden become their supervisor or manager, they have a feeling how that happened. Okay, a lot of them been through it. And they don't like it. They don't like it. Of course they're going to say something.
The fact that people are using this as an excuse to question her credentials. If she just got the job yesterday or last week or last month or something, that would be one thing. She's been on TV for years showing her capability. And now
and she been active all these years, okay? Doing questionable things according to these allegations.
That is being ignored because of allegations. That's where I'm at with it, Tori. Where are you?
Mm-hmm.
There's the court of public opinion.
I gotta say, man, I'm not agreeing with this woman at all so far, man, but she is beautiful. And it's very difficult because I watched the other dude. He was talking about that it's very hard for a man to resist this. Okay, if you're a manager or executive producer or whatever they call them, right? These guys that run the show, and you come across this woman and she give you attention, and even if you know that she's only giving you attention because she want a higher position, it's very difficult for you to say no. It's hard for even married men to say no, obviously, because in the allegations, Joy Taylor and Charlie, both of them was married at the time. And she got divorced because of it, according to allegations, okay? So this is very difficult for men, especially because men are horny a lot of the times. And people like to think because you get older, that slows down a lot. Not really. Because I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm probably almost as horny as I was when I was in my early 20s. That don't change that. But common sense kind of controls you. You have more self-control, but it doesn't change the feeling, okay? It doesn't change the feeling. When I say a beautiful woman, I get excited. This woman is gorgeous. It will be difficult to work alongside her, knowing you a supervisor over her, and she be like giving you these dull eyes, man, talking about she want that position. Can you please give me that position? That'd be difficult to say no. Especially if you grow close to her and start to really like her. Okay, that'd be hard. And to me, that complicates things. They should, when dealing with the opposite sex, there should be another person in the mix to make sure nothing will happen in these particular situations. Now, can you 100% stop things? No. But it'll save the company a lot of money if they put things like that in place. Because it's not just the men. It's the women also involved. You can't solve it with just attacking the men. But let's hear what she got to say.
And then there's real court, right? And again, these are allegations. And having women, essentially... to me, it seems like it could be coming from a place of jealousy. Like, ooh, finally, put a target on.
Okay, only beautiful women say stuff like that, okay? Jealousy, okay? Any criticism coming any woman way that looks attractive, it got to be jealousy. When it comes to men, it's misogyny, okay? But the only thing she could come up with is they got to be jealous. Not the fact that this woman got allegations saying she slept her way to the top. They had nothing to do with it. It has to be jealousy, okay? And they usually only come out of beautiful women's mouths, usually. I mean, you see a few not attractive women saying it, but mostly you hear beautiful women saying that. If something wrong that people might criticize her and you're a woman, obviously there has to be jealousy, of course.
Her back. Now we can say she wasn't qualified because not only is she beautiful, but now we can say she wasn't qualified and didn't earn her spot. And I'm not shocked by it.
I don't think women watch sports stuff like this. They probably don't care. They probably didn't even know who this woman was. They probably, like I say, it's mostly men that watch these shows. So they ain't sitting around just waiting for these women to fall. I mean, is that what she's saying? They don't even watch most of this stuff. You know what I mean? It's in the story. Women are just replying to the situation, okay? Because it's part of our culture now. Everybody got to jump into everything now, okay? So they didn't want sitting around waiting for this woman to fall. They probably didn't even know who she was. I mean, they might know who she was through her podcast. And people don't like to be gypped, okay? They probably watched the podcast and she's talking about how smart she was and all this kind of stuff. And then they like, okay, obviously, according to these allegations, that's not true or completely true, okay? So, you know, excuse me, they're going to have their opinions about this.
People are, okay, there's one thing I do want to talk about, and it is your looks. Your looks play into this.
Thank you. Thank you for finally saying that.
When you are beautiful, you are up against a different battle at times in this industry. I mean, people are always going to try to say that your looks played into this. Your looks do help you in this. We cannot ignore that.
Pause.
No, I have to agree with her on that. Because if it was a woman that's really not all that attractive. Okay, let's talk about Lori Lightfoot. Is that her name? That used to be the mayor in Chicago. She's not the most attractive person in the world, okay? And, you know, if I would have first saw her and saw she was a mayor, I would have thought she earned it because she really ain't all that attractive, okay? But because she ran the city to the ground, basically, so now you can pretty much question her intelligence and her professionalism and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I get what she's saying. When you're a beautiful woman, you probably got to work harder than the average looking woman to prove you didn't get the spot. And this situation doesn't help. It doesn't help. And the fact that they trying to defend this woman doesn't help either. It doesn't help at all. Because it makes her job harder. Because you're looking at her now. Okay, I wonder how many other women in this company's been doing this stuff. Because I'm wondering too. I don't know this woman. This is the first time I've ever seen her. I might have seen her before. I don't know, by accident. I don't remember. But now I've seen her. And now I'm wondering, how did you get this position now? It comes in question now. Because it's not because she's beautiful or because she's a woman, anything like that, or a woman of color. That ain't the point. It's how many times did these companies been doing this stuff? Been going after these women and then sleeping with them. Because it was a statement made by the hairdresser that Charlie fired other women over this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's basically, is this how the companies ran? So if this company is ran this way, did she get that position because of the same reason Joy Taylor got hers? I mean, yeah, it's going to come into question.
Pause
Okay.
for one thing. Your looks or how you present yourself?
Right.
Question.
I think he's trying to correct her in some way, right? It's more presenting. He don't want to go by, for me, the fact you hot, okay? And you putting thirst traps on Instagram like that, right? You wearing low cut shirts on the show and all this kind of stuff, right? Now, I can say, and I never heard him being accused of acting inappropriately on a show when he's dealing with women or whatever. I got to give the man credit, Stephen A. Smith. I got to give him credit, man. Never heard about it. He approaches things, because I heard he's not married, and I don't think he, from what I hear, I don't think he wants to be married. He like his single life. He really never got involved in things like Diddy and all this other stuff, right? So the man been kind of running his career in a very intelligent way. Even though we might disagree about the stuff he says, might say he flip-flops and all this kind of stuff. Either way it goes, he was able to stay out of trouble. And I know that's not easy to do, okay? But I think right here he's trying to kind of correct her in a polite way, because He like, okay, like we've been saying this one narrative and now you're bringing about looks now. Now you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to correct you now. So let's see how she gonna respond to that.
Which one I'm asking?
No, it's about how you present yourself, but the looks do contribute to whether or not you have an on-camera look or not. If you ask any news director right now, they are going to say, does she pop through the screen? Does she make me pay attention? I'm going to decide in 30 seconds whether or not I want her on my show.
Because, you know, the old saying goes, man, sex sells. Sex sells. And they love chemistry between attractive people sometimes. Because you'll see like two attractive people on a show. And if they chemistry is great, people love that, especially women. Women love that kind of thing. When a beautiful woman is on a show co-hosting with an attractive man, they like that kind of thing. People like it, man. It is what it is, right? And what she's saying, she's not lying. She understands how the industry is ran. And layman people also understand it. I understand it. I don't work in the industry, but I understand how it works. Okay? It don't work in every industry, but when it comes down to entertainment, it does. It works. People want to see that. People want to see attractive people. It happens. Okay? So I see where she's coming from with this.
And she grab an audience. That's what they're asking. So yes, your looks are part of it, but it's about your presentation. And, you know, but there's other parts of this that these allegations that do matter, that I believe should set precedent and hopefully change. Because when we come on and talk about these issues, there's an opportunity for change. I do believe that. And in this realm, I would say some of the things that I've seen that are disappointing, and if they are true, then maybe there's an opportunity for change. Personally, I would not be going out to drinks with my bosses. We don't know if that happened.
Okay.
That is one of the allegations that was made. But on principle, I'm not going out to drinks with my executives. I'm not going out to parties with them for a number of...
You know what she's doing? Okay, I'm going to tell you. I know y'all know what she's doing already, but I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. She is criticizing this woman, but she's doing it in a kind of a way where you can't accuse her really of criticizing her. But I mean, everybody sees she criticizing her right now. You can see it, right? And plus, she want to get the stank off of her. All right? Look how she's dressed. Now, I never seen this woman. I never seen her hosting. Maybe she dressed like this all the time, okay? Maybe she earned it. Maybe, no, I have no reason to believe it's just because of her looks that she got the job, okay? But I believe her looks is involved. And she knows it too. That's the reason why she said it. Okay. But she's trying to get the stank off of her. She's trying to let everybody know, basically, this ain't what I do. I like this woman. I like Joy Taylor. I like her and all this kind of stuff. But I believe she made some bad decisions. Okay? And she's saying that without literally saying Joy Taylor's name. Okay? Now, I'm real curious about how Stephen A. Smith going to respond to that. Okay? But we'll see. Let's let her finish.
Reasons. One, I do not want to be talked about in my newsroom.
Oh, another thing too. They always make it about themselves. It could be about a tornado or earthquake or something like that. Somehow, some way, they'll try to make it about themselves.
Like that. Why was she out to drinks with them? What is she doing? I don't want them knowing my personal life. I don't want my bosses knowing my personal life. Number two. And then number three, now you're opening yourself up to rumors to spread about you that look like this. So this is why you have to strike a right balance when you're going to take a professional person into a public environment outside the professional work setting, because now you're opening yourself up to these types of allegations. So one, watch how you're moving. Watch how you carry yourself in the workplace, because this is what you're going to open yourself up to potentially, especially if you're the one in the highest spot.
All right, I'm just going to end it here, man. She said what I wanted her to say, and I give her credit for that. She knows that if this stuff is true, Joy Taylor made them look bad. Now people gonna start questioning how she got it. So this is what happens in these particular cases. Now people are interested, especially women. Cause like I said, I ain't saying no women watch these shows, but I believe a lot of women don't watch these shows. Okay. And sometimes they might bring these women on here, beautiful women, to attract more women, because that's what these companies do. They want to attract more women into male spaces. They do, okay? Because they can't completely rely on men. So I understand where she's coming from, okay? But she's basically, like I say, she's trying to get the stank off her. She's trying to let people know, because people now interested. now it's going to be not only regular people and YouTubers and TikTokers gonna start looking more into these people, their past. But it's also going to be a lot of news people who actually do their job. They're going to start looking into these people's past. How did they get their job? How did she get her job? Who did her a favor? They're going to start looking into this kind of stuff. And she pretty much laying the foundations to, like, I don't do this kind of stuff. Do not even associate me with anybody else. I don't do this kind of a thing. And she laying down the law. I was about to see how he was going to respond, but I figured, we can end it here. She basically saying, and this is my opinion, you can disagree with me or not, you can leave it in the comments if you want, but from what I can see, she basically saying that if all this stuff is true, Joy Taylor, she was wrong. She was in the wrong, without actually saying her name or anything like that. She literally agreeing with what everybody said. Now, she brought up people being jealous and those other kind of stuff, but now she came to the reality and speaking the truth and saying if all this stuff is true, the woman was wrong. And the woman is also involved when it comes down to these cases. It's not just the man. It's not just the man. So these companies really need to start, if they don't want more lawsuits and all this kind of stuff, they need to start dealing with both parties and do them evenly, okay? Because it's a story right now. I heard that they trying to do away with ladies' night. It's happening in California. Okay, they saying that it is against the law to base things off of gender and race and things of that sort. So by having ladies' nights now, it's like against the law, and people can sue you for that. So now I think this little cafe or little whatever, right, bar or whatever, they lost so much money they had to close down permanently. So it's affecting them too now. All these laws, all these Me Too's and all this other stuff that they pulled out the hat, all of a sudden now starting to work against women. Now all of a sudden it ain't just men accusing them of stuff. The hairdresser now accusing them of stuff. It's not just conservatives accusing them of things. Now liberals are doing it. So now they trying to figure out a way to fight back. This woman, I got to give her credit for coming out basically saying this is probably the reason why she came on this show. This is just my opinion, but this is probably why, just to let everybody know I don't do this. If all this stuff is true, I don't have anything to do with it. I don't associate myself with this. I earned my position. Yes, of course. I'm sure looks were also involved in the reason why they hired me, but that's not the only reason why they hired me. And she's smart with that. And I'm sure somehow Stephen A. Smith possibly would have flip-flop on this answer, because he's starting to see, you can tell by the look on his face that she's telling the truth. Now he can tell the truth. Okay, because everybody knows this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. This has been an interesting topic. Of course, more things are gonna come out about these allegations, and we're gonna have more to talk about. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed this. Please come back and please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because sometimes I wonder if you are removed from notifications, because that happens with me sometimes. I'll subscribe to somebody and come back later, find out I'm unsubscribed. Okay, I don't know if there's a time lapse or whatever that happens, but definitely check that out if you are subscribed. And if you're not, please subscribe. Okay, I'm really trying to grow this channel. I really want to give you things that you might be entertained by. Okay, I'm doing my best. All right, I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T and peace.